DeVitt back to it. We'll play it to the keeper, Melvin, who gets into a little bit of trouble. There's Tierpak trying to play it into the middle, and DeVries there to mop up and clear. A little bit tentative there early on between DeVitt and Melvin, but the Whitecaps get out of what could have been a very sticky situation.
Yeah, a bit nervous to the back there with the goalkeeper, but it went away to safety, and we're okay.
Throw in on the near side. Taken by Sean Chin. There's DeVries again, a rock at the back, clearing it into the attacking half. Thomas Sanner with a nice header was looking to knock it down for Bustos, but instead it's Michael Reed with the ball. Reed, the 29-year-old native of Albuquerque, New Mexico, with the ball towards Tierpak, trying to get in behind, has a touch on it, and Melvin out confidently makes the save. Whitecaps looking to turn the tide here early after a good opportunity there by Tierpak. It's Bustos back near the halfway line. Bustos with a long ball towards Campbell, a little bit heavy, and it'll trickle through to the keeper, Matt Cardoni. As that was a good run by Tierpak down the near side to create the chance.
Yeah, it was, and it was good cover by young Campbell there, and the goalkeeper was in a good position to sweep up.
Matt Cardoni, 360 minutes this season for San Antonio. The keeper down to our broadcast left. You can see him there wearing the bright green strip. And he'll get the ball again as San Antonio FC content to knock it around in their own half for the time being. Stephen McCarthy plays it wide to the near side for Sean Chin. Closed down by Taron Campbell, and they play it to the halfway line. Will Seymour with it there. A nice give and go with Sem DeVitt. Into the middle of the park for Baldissimo. Matthew Baldissimo back to Cole Seiler. DeVitt ahead for McKendry. He's got some space to run. And he's going to take that down the left side towards the corner flag. Tried to play it in, but it just rolls through to the keeper, Cardoni.
Yeah, that was better from the Whitecaps there. We got a bit of composure and a bit of possession on the ball, and looked to end with a cross there. It was unfortunate not to get something from it.
Cardoni to the near side for Stephen McCarthy. Again for Cardoni, as they're being very tentative here in their own half, our San Antonio FC. A much older side than Whitecaps FC2, with a number of players in their late 20s in the starting 11 tonight, including Stephen McCarthy there in the back four, 28 years old. Michael Reed, 29. Ali Alberto Hassan, the lone striker, 27 years of age as well. Much younger side for the Whitecaps, with the elder statesman being Will Seymour, 25 years of age, then Ben McKendry behind him at 24, but lots of youth in the Whitecaps team today. Yeah,
it's good to see the young boys getting a chance to play and play at a professional level. I've had a chance to train with some of them, and they work hard and take their opportunities.
Devin Vega, the youngest player on the pitch today, along with Taron Campbell, actually. They're both 18 years of age, but Vega, who wears the number 23 shirt for San Antonio, making his professional debut here this afternoon. As Chin picks out a ball near side, concedes possession though. Aggressive there from Baldissimo to win it back. Nice interplay there. It's McKendry playing one over the top, chasing it down and keeping it in play is Baldissimo wide to the left side. Back for Marco Bustos. Bustos infield for Ben McKendry. Tried to play it ahead, shot blocked away by Pekka, the Brazilian. And San Antonio FC look to get back on the front foot here. Michael Reed at the halfway line. McKendry trying to close him down. He'll play it out wide towards Forbes on the left side. Dispossessed by a backtracking Jake Nerwinski for Vancouver, and the Whitecaps are in possession again. Nice little ball there for Bustos, or from Bustos rather, towards Baldissimo. Couldn't settle that down. DeVries back with it. Out wide for the captain, Sem DeVitt. Now into the 8th minute here at UBC's Thunderbird Stadium. Not too many chances either way as of yet for San Antonio and Vancouver. Here's a chance for the Whitecaps to get forward, though. Down that right side is Nerwinski. Couldn't get around the defender there for San Antonio, and that'll be a corner kick, the first of the match for Whitecaps FC2, and a chance to create here.
Yeah, we've got some good big players here. I think both teams, after 8 minutes, are just sort of feel their way into the game, and could have a chance here.
Bustos will take it from out wide on the right side with his left foot. Sends that high into the area. DeVitt goes down and collision with one of the San Antonio players. Ref waves him up, though, and San Antonio able to clear their own half after being a little bit pressured there by Whitecaps FC2 with the early corner kick. Will Seymour in midfield. First start of the season for him. He's come in twice as a substitute to this point, now in his third season with Whitecaps FC2. Marco Bustos, his first USL action of the year as well. Back to De Vries, who plays a long ball up that right side, but out of play. Should mention the officials for the match this afternoon. The referee is Juan Marquez. The assistant referees, Candice Brown and Irina Cho. The fourth official is Alain Roux. As San Antonio looking to get out of their own half. Whitecaps win the ball. Instead, it falls to Reed in midfield. Reed plays it onto the left side for Greg Cochran. Back for Stephen McCarthy. McCarthy's seen a lot of the ball early on here. He'll lay it off to Ibiaga, who clears into the attacking half. DeVitt back to settle that down and try and check the run of Ali Alberto Hassan, who doesn't like the decision there, as that'll be a throw-in against Whitecaps, or for Whitecaps FC2 rather. DeVitt being told to go back. And we've talked a lot about De Vries early on here, but Sem DeVitt is a pretty key part of the back line for Whitecaps FC2, and a bit of a veteran now, you can say, even though he's 21 years of age. He's had a lot of experience with this club and was the Whitecaps FC2 Player of the Year last season as well.
Yeah, I've had a chance to play with Sem last year, and I was very impressed with him. The way he goes about his business, he's a leader in this team, and he's very versatile. The first couple of games he was playing in that holding midfield, just in front of the back three, and I thought he was very good with his feet. And now he can be used at the back three, and hopefully keep a clean sheet here.
What do you make of the decision to play a back three for Rich Fagan as opposed to the traditional four at the back?
Well, I spoke to Rich, and obviously using a back three is it's key to the personnel you have. And if you've got the right personnel, and I think with bringing in the likes of Nowinski, and you've got Taron Campbell who can play as wing backs here, who are going to go up and down, then if you've got the right personnel, you can do it.
It's been successful to this point in the season for Whitecaps FC2. 2 wins, a loss, and a draw. 7 points from 4 matches for them, but they have been in good form, coming off back-to-back victories. 1-0 last week over Portland Timbers 2 down in the City of Roses as Thomas Sanner looks to break away. Little tug of the shirt there, and he wins a free kick. A little bit far out for Whitecaps FC2, but still close enough that maybe they can make something of it with McKendry looking to step behind it.
Yeah, for sure. The big man's done well there to get turned and to win the free kick, and he'll be looking to make himself a nuisance up there all day.
DeVitt at the halfway line, near side. Diagonal ball for Bustos, headed down, was looking for Sanner, but it's to the keeper, Matt Cardoni, yet again. 12th minute. Whitecaps FC 2, San Antonio FC scoreless, as we remind you that you can stay up to date on the latest USL news and information from around the league. Tune in to USL Coast to Coast with Mike Watts, Mondays at 6 o'clock Pacific time on Sirius XM FC Channel 85. Also, don't forget, Sirius XM FC will air the USL Game of the Week. Check USLsoccer.com for dates and times. As Bustos plays it back to the keeper, Melvin, out wide onto the left for Sem DeVitt, who's got a bit of space to work with. He's going to play it back to the keeper again. And both clubs playing a pretty defensively sound game to this point. We haven't seen too many clear-cut opportunities, if any. Maybe the chance for Tierpak on the near side, the best of those. tussle in midfield for the ball. Bustos in to try and win it, but it ends up back with Sean Chin, the Miami native, and the right back for San Antonio FC. Long ball towards the edge of the Whitecaps area, headed down by DeVries for Will Seymour in midfield. Seymour for DeVitt. Seems to sort of control the play from the back three there. Again towards center, headed down nicely, but Bustos is run a little bit behind, couldn't get onto the ball there. Through to Cardoni again, out left for Ibiaga. Pekka, again for Ibiaga. Stephen McCarthy. And again, it's Cardoni settling things down. And you get the sense that this could be a very defensive game with both teams just waiting for a breakdown and try to capitalize on the opportunities they can get.
Yeah, neither team seems to be in a rush to get it forward. They're staying patient with the ball at the back. Almost, it's a game of chess at this point in the first 15 minutes.
Here could be a chance for San Antonio, though. Tierpak down the right side. Got the ball from Forbes, tried to play it in. Nice block away by Campbell. Sanner fouled in midfield there as a couple of lads go clattering to the floor. Tierpak up quickly, as was McCarthy and Sanner, and a free kick for Whitecaps FC 2. Cole Seiler, 23-year-old. One of two players, along with Ben McKendry, for this Whitecaps side that have played every minute of USL action this season. There's Hassan. Pass ahead out of the reach of Tierpak. DeVitt back to handle for DeVries. Sean Melvin again. Hasn't had too much work to do as of yet. Was named to the USL Team of the Week last week after a 5-save clean sheet for Whitecaps FC2 down in Portland. And that's another factor, too. Back-to-back wins, but back-to-back wins against Cascadia opponents have to be a good confidence builder.
Yeah, it's massive. It's a confidence builder in winning any games, but to have it being Cascadia games and back-to-back, it was, from what I heard, a bit of a snatch and grab last week, but 3 points is 3 points, especially on the road.
And now here's an opportunity. McKendry in the midfield towards the box. He'll hit it, and a great save by Cardoni on by far the best opportunity of the match for Whitecaps FC2. We've seen McKendry score from that sort of distance, and he forced Cardoni into a tough save.
Yeah, it's key to get it on target there. Ben does well and drives forward, and you've got big Thomas Sanner and Boosty following in for rebounds.
Cardoni did well not to spill anything there, though. And he'll deliver the goal kick, headed down by DeVries. Now Seymour plays it ahead. Chin will chest that down. Has Sanner all over him, and he's quite a handful, Thomas Sanner, when he's in there trying to win the ball. Could cause fits for the defensive players on San Antonio, because I'm sure a big guy like that could be hard to handle for a center back.
Definitely. I'm looking forward to seeing the battle between him and Ibiaga. I spoke to Giles Barnes, ex-Vancouver Whitecap, who's he's good friends with the defender, and he said he's very athletic and strong.
Ibiaga, the 25-year-old Nigerian, has the ball right now. Wide on the left side. Sends it long. Curled into the box, just out of the reach of the attacking player Vega, and now he'll win the ball. Here's Vega sending it in. Melvin knocks it down, but Tierpak with his left foot blocked away by DeVries. Now Forbes has a go and sends it over the crossbar. But there you go. Francis DeVries with a goal-saving play inside his box.
Yeah, and that's another one, hopefully, why we're going to get a clean sheet.
So you have a look at it again. Vega plays it in with the right foot. Knocked down by Melvin. Actually, it might have been Melvin that got his fingertips on that one. Looked initially like it was DeVries that blocked it away. And San Antonio getting set for the corner kick here as the Whitecaps see their first heavy pressure of the match and see it off as well. Now here's Vega with the corner kick. Again, Melvin got his fingertips on that one, was fouled at the same time, and that'll relieve the pressure here from the Whitecaps.
Yeah, I think that all started by a bit of a mix-up at the pack with McKendry and Campbell, and a great block from either Melvin or DeVries. But settle things down now and look to regroup.
Could have been a bit of both. As I said, I think at first blush it looked like DeVries blocked it on the replay. Might have been Melvin that got his fingertips to it. Whitecaps won't care how it stopped as long as it was, and indeed it did not find the back of goal. DeVries again with a headed ball out wide onto the right. Whitecaps in possession. Nerwinski for Bustos. Bustos again for DeVries inside his own half. Right-footed ball forward towards center. Knocked down by Ibiaga, but it's loose in midfield. And it's Michael Reed picking up the pieces and passing out to the near side for Sean Chin. Chin. Campbell tries to close him down rather. Nice play by Chin. Between the legs of the Whitecap defender. Vega, the 18-year-old. Plays it back to Cochran. Cochran in towards Vega. Nice run, but DeVries sees it out. And for his first professional game, Devin Vega proving to be a little bit of a threat here as we near the 20th minute.
Yeah, he's done well. He's eased himself in the game really well, and good bit of play from San Antonio there, and it's well slapped up by DeVries.
Sean Melvin to deliver the goal kick yet again for Whitecaps FC2, who might want to turn the tide here and stem the tide, in fact, as the momentum starting to look like it's turning in the direction of the visitors in the black kits. Chris Tierpak in his own half. 3 Whitecaps around him. Plays it back to McCarthy. Now for Chin. Right-footed ball into the center circle there. Taken down by Nerwinski. Couldn't hold it, though, and Forbes is right on him and wins the ball. Billy Forbes. Ahead for Devin Vega. Give and go between the two of them. Now here's Forbes with a run and a nicely timed tackle by Cole Seidler to knock it away from his feet. Possession conceded again, though, for the Whitecaps. Chin with the ball at his feet on the right side. Give and go with Tierpak. Chin plays it ahead for Vega. Lays off to Chin again. San Antonio looking to try and find an opening with Vega running forward. Instead, it's Tierpak letting the ball roll out, but San Antonio may be sensing that they can find an opening here.
Yeah, last couple of minutes seem to be getting a little bit of a foothold in the game, getting little pockets, getting the ball moving, and when the Whitecaps do win the ball back, giving it away quite cheaply. We can't afford to do that.
Possession goes to the Whitecaps there. McKendry with a pass behind Nerwinski. He'll chase that down, but can't hold it in. Maybe just lacking a little bit of focus at the moment with some of the balls they've been playing in midfield and conceding possession, as you said, cheaply.
Yeah, just a few going astray.
Nerwinski. Out wide, McKendry plays it back towards Nerwinski. This could be dangerous. Tries to curl it into the box. It's cleared by McCarthy, but McKendry has it again. Forward for Nerwinski. Stays onside. Curls it into the box. Baldissimo can't find it. Campbell back to get it on the near touch line for DeVitt. Again, Taron Campbell. He's a big boy up front as well. Now DeVitt. Infield for Baldissimo. Nice one-touch pass out wide to Taron Campbell. Near the left corner stick. Curls it into the box, but across to get it was the keeper Cardoni, and he'll quickly play it ahead for Forbes. And the counter could be on for San Antonio. Forbes watched closely by Seiler down that left side. Plays it into the box, and that's a goal! Knocked into the back of net by Ali Alberto Hassan. And a nice delivery in from out wide on the left by Billy Forbes. He had Tierpak on the right side who was calling for it as well. But it is the lone striker, Hassan, that makes it 1-0 for San Antonio FC.
Yeah, that's a fantastic pass from Forbes, and it's almost undefendable at times. Right in behind the defenders, going against their own goal, and it's a good finish from Hassan.
We saw Forbes with a very similar delivery on a goal in the win last week over Reno, and he's done it again. And in the 22nd minute of the match, 1-0 for San Antonio FC. Ali Alberto Hassan with his first of the season. And he'd only played 11 minutes of the year up until this point, so nice for him to open his account here in 2017 in USL, and San Antonio will be pleased with a lead here in the first half. Here's Sander the other way, though. Just stayed onside. Nice ball ahead from Bustos. Sander will lay it off, but little too heavy. Bustos can't keep that in play.
Yeah, and just before the goal came there in transition, I felt the Whitecaps were doing the right thing. I'd like to see them get the ball a bit wider in the overlaps, and we got a couple crosses from Jake and from Taron Campbell there, and we just got caught in the break.
Be interesting to see how this changes the complexion of the match. We talked about the fact that it had been a bit ponderous from both clubs, but whether San Antonio will feel content to play a little bit more defensively now that they've got the lead away from home, we'll have to wait and see. The pressure now on the Whitecaps to push forward a little more aggressively in search of an equalizer. Still plenty of time to play, though. Just over 20 minutes left in the first half.
Yeah, we just need to keep our composure, get our foot on the ball, start making a few passes, and we'll be okay here.
McKendry hustling and bustling there in midfield, out wide to Nerwinski. Tried to play it infield for Baldissimo, but Tierpak was right there to clear that away. DeVries. Nice move around Forbes there on the right side. Rather, that's Seiler. He'll play it ahead for Nerwinski, infield for Will Seymour. Seymour will take that out towards the touchline, ahead for Marco Bustos, who'd like to be a little bit more involved in the match here, I'm sure, and he'll play it ahead. Give and go with Nerwinski, but the assistant referee on the far touchline says that went out. Bustos, the 21-year-old Winnipeg native.
Actually 21 today. It's his birthday today, isn't it?
There you go. Well, happy birthday to Marco Bustos. And again, his first USL match of the season here. 4 MLS appearances in his career as well, wearing shirt number 32. You saw him there on your screen moments ago, and you know that he'd like to find himself a birthday present in the form of an equalizing goal for this Whitecaps FC2 team that finds themselves behind in the first half.
Yeah, for sure. I think we need to get Boosty involved in the game a bit more, get into those holes, and again, I think we can get the ball wide and cause them problems in the overload.
Bustos hasn't seen a lot of the ball as of yet. You're right. Now here's a long one towards center, headed down by Ibiaga for Greg Cochran, a Pennsylvania native on the far side. And clear it out of play, but there has been a distinct change for Whitecaps FC2 since conceding the goal. They seem to be pushing up a bit here and trying to break down the visiting San Antonio side. DeVries again, center, working hard in midfield. Tierpak back to deal with that. Almost gave it away to McKendry. Then he takes a bit of a knock there from Ibiaga, who is going to see a card here from referee Juan Marquez, I believe, or maybe just a ticking off. And lots of complaining and arguing going on there, as hopefully we'll get another look at that challenge. Ibiaga in a little bit late caught McKendry. And difficult to see from that angle how much he actually touched him.
I don't think there's much in it. I think he comes in a bit over top of the ball.
I think he was booked, though. Maybe just caught the toe of McKendry a little bit. And decent position here for Marco Bustos to create something. About 30 yards out or so. He's the lone man standing behind the ball, and they've got the big boys, DeVries, Sanner, DeVitt, Campbell in the box. Should be a left-footed delivery here from Marco Bustos.
Got the big boys up, and Boosty's got that in-swinging left-footed delivery. I know he has got a good delivery.
Could maybe go for goal from here as well, although it doesn't look like it'll be that way.
It's a bit far out.
Indeed, he did just that and just missed the far post. That was awfully close to being the equalizer, and a very nice attempt from Marco Bustos that very nearly put the Whitecaps on the board.
Yeah, it's worth an effort from Boosty there. He's got the ability to do that. Unfortunate not to hit the target.
Oh,
but he
just
made the keeper
curled
work.
wide. Definitely made the keeper work. And a goal kick for Cardoni, but definitely some confidence to be gained from Whitecaps FC2 with the pressure they generated there and the opportunity for Bustos with his left foot.
Yeah, they've done well to regroup after the goal, get themselves together.
And you'd love a goal before the break here in the next 15, 16, 17 minutes here. Make you feel a lot better about the first half if you can go in level.
Yeah, it's the main thing about once you concede early in the game is to not concede again a second or a third, and to keep yourself in the game. And you can keep that, you're always in the game at 1-0.
Seiler containing Forbes on that far touchline. Nerwinski ahead, dispossessed. And Greg Cochran, the left back, will play it back to his keeper, Cardoni. Wide ball up the right side. Tierpak will keep that in play, as Campbell all over him, though. And Campbell will win a free kick with the contact with Chris Tierpak. And lots of chit-chat going on down on the pitch. And Tierpak getting a talking to from Juan Marquez, the match referee.
Yeah, Cardoni with a lovely ball out there to Tierpak, and Terran Campbell does well to defend and draws the foul.
Just the one booking in the match, Ibiaga given a yellow card for that challenge on McKendry.
Yeah, as I said, I didn't think there was much in it, but I think when you come in with the studs up nowadays, the referees are more than inclined to give cards.
Tough angle for us to see from this side as well. If we had the reverse angle, might have shown that he caught him a little bit more than we thought. But as you said, studs up and the card comes out.
Yeah.
Nice that the rain has held off here. It was throwing it down quite a bit before the match started, but skies starting to look a little bit clearer. And Cole Seiler looking to capitalize down that right side. Here's a good run. Got around the left back Cochran. Seiler looking to deliver it in. Has Ibiaga right on him too. Forces him to put it out of play. Nicely contained there from the Nigerian center back for San Antonio.
Yeah, Cole Seiler there with a decent little run. I spoke to Rich Fagan this week, and he was telling me that although Cole's not really had a sniff with the first team, who he does train with most of the time, he's excellent down there with the USL boys, and in terms of leadership and his quality of training and games.
And you know, for a young player, I'm sure it's very important to train with the first team, even if you're not seeing the MLS minutes, just to get that experience and that level of competition.
Yeah, 100%. You have to train with the professional, the first team, day in, day out, and that's what Cole does. And you can see he takes it into these games in the USL, and he knows if he works hard, he will get his chance for the first team.
16th overall pick in the 2016 MLS Super Draft, so a highly touted prospect that I would imagine we'll see in an MLS uniform on a regular basis sooner rather than later. Hassan, the goal scorer, plays it back for Tierpak. This could be another chance. Here's Tierpak curling it in. Dealt with by Cole Seiler, coming back to clear it out on the near touchline. And a couple of those openings available there for San Antonio.
Yeah, good little interplay down the right-hand side for San Antonio, and good thing is the Whitecaps had bodies in the box to clear.
San Antonio FC didn't have too many men forward themselves, so Whitecaps were able to contain that. And now a free kick quickly taken by Pekka. No, he's going to have to bring it back. The 27-year-old Brazilian midfielder wearing the number 6 shirt. And now it'll be Sean Chin instead to take this free kick, or is it going to be Vega? They can't decide here, and referee telling them to get on with it. Soccer fans, Nike is an official sponsor of the USL. For more information, we encourage you to visit NikeSoccer.com. So it's going to be the 18-year-old Devin Vega. Maybe looking to create something with his right foot here. Curls it in, edge of the area. Header away by Nerwinski. Only as far as Pekka in midfield, and he's got Vega wide open on the right side. Vega striding into the area. Played the ball in towards Forbes. Tierpak was there as well, but the Whitecaps get it away.
You can see how highly San Antonio must rate young Vega. They've got him on all the set pieces. It's good to see.
And he has been quite lively. At least listed as almost a defensive midfielder, but he's gotten forward quite a lot and created as a result. And as we saw on that play, as Sem de Wit plays it towards center, knocked out of play by Pekka. The typical Brazilian single name midfielder. Chests the ball down again, flicks it towards Tierpak, but instead out. de Wit towards Campbell, rolled past him. Tierpak knocks it down and draws a foul on the near side touchline, and you can sense San Antonio turning up the pressure here a little bit. And as we tick on in the first half, you said it earlier, very important for Whitecaps FC2 to make sure they don't concede again.
Yeah, again, you want to stay in the game, and at 1-0, if you come into halftime, you can take that and regroup from there and change your strategy, but it's important not to concede now.
Options on the bench for Whitecaps FC2, including the young striker Gloria Amanda, who could come in and be a factor later on in this match. Right now, though, Whitecaps trying to deal with that. That's Forbes playing it in, out of the reach of Hassan, and knocked over the bar by the center back, Stephen McCarthy, all the way forward. That was very close for Whitecaps FC2.
Very close, very close. In fact, the center back probably should have done better. Probably should have scored, but Whitecaps got away with one.
Maybe thankful that it's a defensive player that's on the end of that and not the likes of Reed or Hassan or Tierpak up front. But again, very nice delivery from Billy Forbes, who set up the opening goal of the match and very nearly had another assist on that opportunity.
Yeah, fantastic in-swinger delivery, hard to defend against.
Free kick for San Antonio. Deep in their own half. Good crowd here in attendance in spite of the inclement weather, although it has, as mentioned, eased off here.
Yeah, got a couple of the injured Whitecaps players here laughing at me at my debut.
Very good. Well, you've got nothing to worry about. A future career in broadcasting once the football days are done, I'm sure awaits.
We'll see. I'm just easing myself into it.
Got to start somewhere. Sem de Wit. Forward for McKendry. Comes to Terran Campbell. Back for de Wit. And now Will Seymour.
See if the Whitecaps can keep the ball for a little bit now. We were under the pressure for about 5-10 minutes there. See if we can just keep it. See if we can get some delivery up to Big Thomas Sander, who's seems to be getting a bit frustrated up there with the lack of service.
And as I said, we very well could see the inclusion of another attacking player in the second half if things continue the way they are. Gloria Amanda, prime candidate to come in.
Yeah, I was at the Seattle game watching, and I was really impressed with it. I believe it was his debut there, his professional debut, and he grew in confidence throughout the game, throughout the 90 minutes, and was trying tricks and flicks, and really enjoyed watching him.
Free kick there for the Whitecaps inside their own half. If you are just joining us, Ali Alberto Hassan in the 22nd minute, giving the visitors, San Antonio FC, the 1-0 lead, which they continue to hold here as we tick on in the first half. Brendan Batchelor and David Edgar with you from David Sidhu Field at UBC's Thunderbird Stadium. Now here's Ben McKendry, forward towards Marco Bustos, headed away. Reed back for it in midfield, had McKendry right on him, but played it calmly free for Chin, who plays a high arcing ball towards the Whitecaps area. DeVries back, leaves for Melvin. Hassan right there, but he sends it high in the air to the midway line. Now here's Bustos with some space to run on that right side. Plays it in midfield. McKendry couldn't quite get there as he was closed down by Cochran. And then Chin back in midfield to help San Antonio clear up, and it's been a pretty smooth defensive performance for San Antonio. They haven't given the Whitecaps much. McKendry had that long attempt, and then Bustos nearly scored on the free kick, but otherwise Vancouver struggling to generate much in the attacking third.
Yeah, not many opportunities in terms of shots-wise. I'd like to see Ben had the opportunity to get the ball wide to Nowinski there. The space is wide with this the short formation we're playing, and if we can get the ball wide, we can create some crosses.
Now there's a nice ball towards Campbell, but he won't be able to get there. Instead, Cardoni will see it out for the goal kick, but Terran Campbell gives the thumbs up, the right idea. I think it was McKendry that delivered it out wide. And if you can find the space and get players running into good areas like that, then could very well have some success against Darren Powell's San Antonio FC. Just the second year in USL for San Antonio, and it has been a good start to the campaign. Western Conference leaders.
Yeah, I spoke to Darren Powell before the game and I asked him what was the main reason for the good start, and he says, and he puts it all down to preseason. They got to pick and choose where they played, and he said it was a good, solid preseason.
And they have carried that success over into the regular season campaign. As Billy Forbes again trying to dance away from Baldissimo. Chin on the near side towards Tierpak. Watched by Campbell. Tierpak running infield. Trying to get around Seymour. They both go to ground, and now it's Forbes looking to do some work. Tried to hit it with his left foot. Tipped by a Whitecap defender and snagged by the keeper, Melvin. And Forbes showing why he can be so dangerous in midfield there. It had to be closed down quite quickly or it could have been quite dangerous.
Yeah, he's showing some really tricky feet and he's finding some good pockets at the minute. You can see the players want to give him the ball.
Capable of scoring and creating for others. He's done one of those two, setting up the Hassan goal here this afternoon. Chin towards Tierpak, clattered into there by Ben McKendry, drawing the foul. And I'm sure late in the first half here, it's important that the Whitecaps don't let frustration enter their game to this point, because you're under 5 minutes or so away from the halftime whistle now, and you just probably want to get there without anything else happening.
100%. You got to keep the back four, back five solid and not concede.
Now here's Forbes cutting in with his right foot, and again Melvin grabs that. Took a touch off Seiler, I believe. And keep possession, settle things down, don't get frustrated, get to halftime. Has to be the message here from Rich Fagan. Bit of an errant pass there, out of play on the far touchline.
And I feel if the Whitecaps just played it simple in midfield, we'd be creating a bit more, just nice and simple, move the ball quickly and keep the ball for a little bit.
Maybe a case of trying to do a little bit too much at the minute.
Yeah, just forcing it a little bit too much, I think.
Tierpak and Chin working together on the near touchline. Seymour chests that down for Sem DeVitt. Seymour looking to get forward in midfield. Not many available options there. Now Nowinski heads it down, looking to run onto it. Instead, it's Cochran, the left back, that settles things down. Ahead towards Forbes. Dancing into midfield with the ball. Played it ahead towards Vega, out of his reach, and now here come the Whitecaps the other way. Campbell looking to get forward. Plays it out wide onto the right side for Bustos. Vancouver looking to get bodies up as Bustos strides towards the area. Played a ball through, well out of the reach of Sander, who gave the thumbs up. Right idea there from Bustos. He was just maybe interfered with a little bit by Ibiaga and couldn't quite get there.
Yeah, right idea from Bustos. Great run from Thomas Sander. Just the execution a little bit on this AstroTurf. When it's a bit slick, things will run through.
And I'm sure the weather can make a huge difference. Probably quite nice for these players that it isn't raining right now like it was earlier.
Yeah, I agree. And again, this is San Antonio's first time playing on turf this year, so it's difficult for them as well.
Whitecaps will be more used to the conditions here, although this is their UBC home opener anyway, their first home match 2 weeks ago out in Langley. Victory over Seattle Sounders. There's a nice bit of skill from Bustos in midfield. Lost the ball to Pekka, though. Sean Chin. Back, will play it up the right side, out of the reach of Tierpak. Pekka, again, fouled by Campbell, goes down under the challenge, and wins the free kick.
Yeah, I think overall, over 45 minutes here, that we've been solid throughout the back. Obviously, we got done in the transition, and a good transition at that from San Antonio. But the boys will be, if we get in here at 1-0, we'll be looking to regroup and looking to do a bit more attacking in the second half.
Have to get to the halftime whistle first, though, as there's a long ball towards Hassan, dealt with nicely by DeVries. And now Sim DeVitt looking to get forward. Campbell to Bustos. Try to give it back to Campbell, a little bit heavy-footed there. DeVries has to go back. Hassan right on him again. We'll play it back for Tierpak. Now Reed in midfield. Left side for Greg Cochran. Cochran out wide for Forbes, and a great anticipation there from Cole Seiler to intercept and then draw the foul as well.
Yeah, excellent from Cole there. Anticipates what he's going to do. He's had a tough time with Billy Forbes out there, but I think he's done very well recently.
Particularly on that sequence. And Whitecaps in possession yet again, dying seconds of the first half. Not sure how many minutes of added time we're going to see here. Probably not too many.
I can't remember too many stoppages.
Other than the goal and a couple of fouls. Now here's McKendry in the box with his right foot off the post. Rebound for Bustos. He scores! Right at the end of the first half. Marco Bustos on the rebound after it came off the woodwork. And Whitecaps FC 2 draw level. It's 1-1.
Yeah, well, as we said before, a little birthday present for Boosty there. But I think that comes from Ben McKendry. He steps in front of the defenders there, gets a little touch. There it is. And a great strike on goal. The keeper does well. Boosty's there to finish.
Clinical from Bustos as Cardoni back across to his right, almost got a touch on it. Good angle here. And he actually did go off his knee and into the goal. Marco Bustos opens his account in the 2017 season right before halftime as we get the whistle. And that's a huge goal in this match to send us to the dressing rooms tied at 1.
Yeah, massive goal. Any goal before halftime is good, and to make it an equalizer is even better.
So we finish the opening 45, all level. Whitecaps FC 2-1, San Antonio FC 1. We'll be back with the first match highlights in just a moment.
It's not always about wins, losses, draws, added time, missed tackles, clearances, possession, rivalries, goals, and assists. Sometimes it's about the people and the stories that shape them. Introducing the official Whitecaps FC podcast, Sideline Stories. In-depth interviews with your favorite Whitecaps players and personalities, hosted by me, Perry Silkowski. Show your ears some love.
Sign up for our skills camp today.
Learn the Whitecaps way.
Whitecaps FC camps are the only soccer camps that you can train with our coaching staff. Get kitted up.
And take your shot at getting scouted. Come on out to our next camp.
Meet a player.
Hope to see you there.
Jordan Harvey can jockey an attacker, but can he maneuver a wheelchair? We found out by taking him out of the box and into a spinal cord injury research center in Vancouver, BC.
How we doing?
Hey,
Jordan. Man, Jordan.
How's it going?
Nice
Kyle
to meet
Jenny.
you. You gonna be showing me around today?
I will be. Welcome to the I-Court building.
First things first, I'm gonna hop into one of these and you're gonna have to give me some tips, man.
Don't flip backward.
Yeah, right?
I got hurt in Calgary 13 years ago. It was a pretty big shock. First thing I did was get in one of these wheelchairs, and I found out how maneuverable it was. Pull with your right, push left. So push and pull both ways.
Good thing we put those anti-tippers on, yeah.
Let's try a ramp first, okay?
All right, let's go easy first.
This is gonna be like a grassy patch. Don't put your weight all the way forwards.
That could get frustrating, huh?
No kidding. And that's
Wow.
not even the worst of it. This is where they do the cellular research. This is where they have all the microscopes. And we're gonna get you fitted for an exoskeleton today. So in this, we're making a cure for ourselves. I can't walk, so you know what? This is a cure for walking.
So it's just like a robot, huh?
Yeah.
You've got a remote control on me right
Yes.
now, so you're controlling me right now.
Yeah,
Okay.
here's your first step. Now walker, shift
Oh, I thought
your
the
weight.
left foot was going.
It's the opposite.
Okay.
There we go. Walker again, and then, so walker forward.
And now we're gonna try to kick a soccer ball. There we go. That's enough soccer for one day. Oh wow, we have a crowd. I'm Jordan.
Hey, Jordan.
Oh, still learning. Racing Kyle was my favorite part of the experience. Go.
It was really fun just to see how hard he was trying and how good of a sport he was. And that was the greatest part for me because I get to go up against a professional athlete.
I was definitely out of my element. From the moment we got in here, I stepped in a wheelchair, and it was really an amazing experience and something that I'm definitely gonna remember for the rest of my life. Thank you so much for having me. It was a pleasure. Had a great time, man. Thank you. Yeah. Top to bottom, this community has embraced this team. I'm just happy to be a part of it.
It's obviously made me a bigger supporter of the team. I'm going to cheer them hard all the way to the finals because I know that they're going to make it there.
Sun for sure. No one's gonna say snow. Instagram stories, as long as I don't have to watch Alphonso Davies put up another one. Theme park, water park, kids piss in the pools. Christmas Eve, New Year's Eve is overrated. I like the old Drake better than the new Drake, but I just liked his old songs better.
We've raised the stakes. Expectations are high. Our biggest season yet will break records with elite players and future stars. Innovative technology and new homes. We're growing the game in our communities and across the nation. Are you ready?
Was the lucky number this week as 44 goals found the back of the net with 4 players scoring at least 2 goals in the 4th week of the USL season. Let's take a quick look back at each one.
Flip throw again and fires into the box. Ball comes down, setting up a bicycle kick, and it's in!
Ball in for Valesky, the touch, and there's the finish. It falls, the shot is in!
Cutting it back. Left-footed score! Silva on his left, playing it across. Dequa's header. Williams top of the box, great turn. Bezecourt with the right. 87th minute, they take it early, wide open. Abidor.
Dos Santos, Sutton off his line, shot from distance, and it's in. And toward the goal. And toward the goal. And in! Bembo makes a move. Bembo! Bembo! The score!
Quick throw in though, and he's found Williams. Whoa, there's three, it's a hat trick. Pushing forward from his defensive position. It's a great swings ball. It in. GB got a head on it. Go. NFC Cincinnati. There. Harrison Delbridge is a big target. Up to GB. He shoots and he scores. To Mitch. Here's a great opportunity. Corbin Bone into the box across to GB and a hat trick. Now it's Kenny Walker. And GB's calling for it. On to Walker and GB has his fourth for the night. Banjo on the run. Has the angle, bang, side net.
I can hear you guys.
Left-footed strike, he puts it in.
The initial shot is saved, and then the follow-up.
Bends it in, right side to goal.
Glory, the shot, the save, the putback is in the net.
For USL Network, I'm Morgan Conklin.
Welcome back here at UBC's Thunderbird Stadium. 1-1 at the half between Whitecaps FC 2 and San Antonio FC as we take a look at the highlights from the first half, and it was an eventful opening 45 minutes with chances both ways. A little bit tentative early on, as we will get to those highlights here in just a minute. And it was San Antonio who opened the scoring. They had the early pressure. It was a good chance for Chris Tierpak here, getting in behind with a run down the right side behind Campbell. Touched it on goal. Van McKendry striding forward here, had a long go at goal, stopped by the keeper Cardoni, keeping it scoreless at the time. The youngster Vega, 18 years old, and DeVries and Melvin combined to see that one away, but it was Billy Forbes with a great delivery into Ali Alberto Hassan that broke the deadlock at the 22nd minute for that one. Hassan's first of the campaign, giving the visitors the 1-0 lead, and again, it was great delivery by Forbes. We see him just curling it in behind DeVries on that opportunity there. And it was the visitors, San Antonio FC, with the 1-0 lead before the half-hour mark. Marco Bustos on his birthday had a good chance to equalize on a free kick that just curled wide of the right post. Good movement by Cardoni to get across as well. Might have had a touch on it. Whitecaps weren't done defending, though. A good chance for the center back, Stephen McCarthy. Very close, about 6 yards away from goal. Again, it was Forbes playing it in, and McCarthy puts it over the crossbar. Head in hands there. Couldn't quite believe it. But very late, the Whitecaps would find the equalizer right at the end of the first half. McKendry off the woodwork. Bustos to mop up with his first of the season, a birthday goal for number 32, the Winnipeg native for Whitecaps FC2. And that is where we sit through 45 minutes with a goal apiece for the two clubs. Let's take a look at the first half stats if we have them here, as there was a goal each way for the clubs, chances both sides as well. And there it is, 6 shots for San Antonio, 3 on target. 3 on target for both sides, and possession just about equal, which you could have expected. The one booking to Sebastian Ibiaga, the center back for San Antonio. But a fairly even match to this point, and I expect we'll see more of the same in the second half. Whitecaps FC2 and San Antonio FC tied at 1. I'll be back with David Edgar for the call of the second half coming up in just a moment.
That way, first go, side to side, second go, run it out. Go. Go. Let's go. Go. Go.
Brandon Batchelor and David Edgar back with you for the second half here from UBC's Thunderbird Stadium. Whitecaps FC2 and San Antonio FC tied at a goal apiece. And San Antonio looking to get forward here quickly. Vega plays it into the box. Melvin will knock that away, and some work to do here for Nerwinski. Had Forbes all over him and was able to get rid of it. As San Antonio coming out quite aggressively here early. Going down on the near side is Cochran. Visitors wanted a foul. They won't get one, though. And very aggressive start to the second half for them.
Yeah, it was. Bit nervy from the goalkeeper, and a bit of communication would help at the back.
Now here's Forbes in behind, and he scores. And the tie game that the Whitecaps grab back just before halftime is extinguished. Billy Forbes, one of the key offensive players for San Antonio, does it again with a headed goal to make it 2-1.
Yeah, just as I was just saying about communication at the back, whether or not anything was said to Cole Seiler there, I don't know. But as a defender, sometimes it has to go in row Z, and they can't score from there. Good finish from Billy Forbes, and he does well to get in that position.
Forbes having a great offensive start to the season. That's his 4th goal in his 5th match. He's got 3 assists now as well. And we may have the introduction of Gloria Manda here for Whitecaps FC2. He's got his training strip off here on the Vancouver bench, and we'll keep an eye on that.
Yeah, another attacking threat for the Whitecaps too here, but it's really unfortunate to concede at the time after scoring and equalizing right before halftime, going in with loads of confidence.
Whitecaps looking to get forward. McKendry near touchline. Plays it back for Nerwinski. Nerwinski. Right idea, looking to play it in towards Baldissimo, but it didn't connect. And instead it's San Antonio looking to break the other way. Ball tied up in the midfield. Baldissimo for McKendry did a great job to touch that back. Sliding in is Nerwinski to play it ahead. And good tussle here on the near side for the Whitecaps. Pekka and Forbes back across for San Antonio to deal with the issues there. And if you're San Antonio, you've grabbed the lead back here. You probably want to settle things down and keep possession as much as you can here for the rest of the match.
Yeah, it's their game to lose now. Vancouver has to find a way to break down their back four and their midfield four. Just stay focused. There's a lot of time to play here and keep their composure.
Seiler. Right-footed ball towards center. Cleared away by Reed. Now here's Forbes looking to get free down the left side. DeVries back to shepherd the ball to the keeper, Sean Melvin. And whether we are going to see a substitution here in a minute or not, we'll have to wait and see. But as mentioned, Gloria Amanda, the young striker, the lone Whitecap player, warming up down to our right behind the goal of Matt Cardoni now, who has to come out to the edge of the area to grab that ball with Baldissimo right there.
Yeah, I saw young Amanda getting stripped before. It might be Rich Fagan wanting to go attacking straight away, and he could bring bags of energy.
Be interesting to see who will make way if he does elect to bring on another striker. You'd have to imagine that Sanner would remain out there as another goal-scoring threat. Nice play there by Will Seymour in midfield. Baldissimo wide for Terran Campbell. Infield for Sanner. Does well to settle that down under pressure from Pekka, then plays it back for DeVitt just inside the Whitecaps FC 2 half.
Again, I think if Vancouver keeps moving the ball side to side, we can create some problems for this San Antonio back four, because we've got the width and we've got the overloads on the wings. Just need to keep our composure and keep moving the ball side to side.
Nerwinski goes down in a heap there. He's done some great work on the right side. Wins the ball back for McKendry. Ahead for Bustos. Just rolled past him. Would have had some space to run into if he'd been able to settle that down. A long ball towards Tierpak, headed down by Sem DeVitt. Terran Campbell. Give and go with Baldissimo. Plays it ahead for Sanner. He's being pressured by a couple of San Antonio players, Pekka and McCarthy, both right in there, and they win the ball back.
Yeah, I'd like to see if we can try and stretch the game, and I think that what might be what Rich Fagan's thinking in bringing that young Gloria Amanda on. If he does do that, stretch him in behind and get some pace behind there.
And it looks like Amanda's inclusion is imminent now, as he's back over on the near touchline and has his green bib off. And again, should be interesting to see how this changes the formation of the Whitecaps, if at all, whether they elect to go with two up front and take one out of the defensive midfield.
Yeah, again, we're at home here. We've got to go for it, and I think that's the way Rich Fagan's thinking. If he keeps all three attacking players on, it'd be nice to see. But if not, we'd like to see how he changes the formation.
Maybe Seymour playing in front of the back three right now is the guy that you remove, or Baldissimo in midfield and just go three with Campbell, McKendry, and Nerwinski. Those are all options, but San Antonio with options getting forward as well. Pekka in midfield, dispossessed, and this could be a break for the Whitecaps. DeVitt with a great ball forward. Here's Campbell down the left side. Strides into the area. Looking to give it to Bustos. Played it into the middle, and a great play by Reed running back to clear the danger, with Bustos ready to pounce on the loose ball at the top of the box.
Yeah, Sam DeVitt was well involved in the play there. He was the one who gave the ball away, wins it back, and finds a great pass to Terran Campbell, who made a fantastic run in behind. Fortunately, had nothing on. You could see him holding his hands up.
Nice ball there from Nerwinski on the near side, over the head of Sanner, out of play, and it is going to be Marco Bustos coming out of the match and Gloria Amanda coming in. So Bustos gets a goal on his birthday. And after the 50-minute mark, just past 50 minutes now, he'll come off. And a good start to the USL season for Bustos, scoring late. He had the good opportunity on the free kick, too, and it'll be Amanda that will try to get in and maybe bring some offensive energy to Whitecaps FC2.
Yeah, looking forward to seeing this young boy play again. Boosty's got the goal. He's getting some minutes under his belt. I know he has been struggling with a niggling hamstring injury, so maybe that is what it was, or he just got his minutes.
Maybe not wanting to aggravate that too much.
Yeah, you can see him holding it there.
As he's walking off now, he had a wrap around his leg that he's removing. And he's actually going right off to the dressing room here.
Yeah, good for young Gloria Amanda here to get straight into the game, see if he can get a few touches early.
And you hope that Bustos hasn't aggravated anything if they're pulling him off.
No, hopefully just precautionary measure. He didn't seem to be limping, but go in the dressing room, hopefully ice it, and he'll have
get
to
some treatment.
Get some treatment. He'll have to be in tomorrow, so he can't go out for his birthday tonight.
San Antonio with the 2-1 lead. Billy Forbes with the go-ahead goal as there's a collision there in midfield. That's Baldissimo, who's slow to get up. And now it's going to be a substitution for the visitors, San Antonio. It's going to be Sean Chin, the right back, coming out. And in is Maxi Rodriguez for San Antonio AFC. As they'll make the change here. Chin not necessarily hustling across to leave play. Maxi Rodriguez has played 127 minutes this season. Only the one appearance, or a couple of appearances, only one start rather, against Switchbacks FC back on April the 7th.
Seems the goalkeeper seems to have a bit of an injury as well.
And it's going to be Matt Cardoni who's going to be seen to here. Rodriguez, 21-year-old native of San Antonio, so a hometown boy for San Antonio FC, and now a bit of a delay here, and I'm sure San Antonio will be hoping that this isn't too concerning. Cardoni's been good this afternoon. Just conceded the one goal and almost got to it as well, as he had to dive back across to his right on the rebound chance for Bustos back in the first half.
Yeah, I saw the replay back. I think he may have got a touch onto the post. He was unlucky not to get the rebound. Boosty did well to get it on target and keep it low. Hopefully it's not anything serious here.
And we'll see who could enter the match if indeed it is Cardoni, the keeper, that has to leave. They've got the backup there. You see him, Diego Restrepo, warming up, and I think Cardoni's going to be done, actually. He was helped up by a couple of teammates, is still bent over there.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see what actually happened there. He just seemed to sit down. But San Antonio having to make two subs early here.
I don't know if we'll have a replay. There didn't appear to be any collision or anything, but that's the end of the afternoon for the keeper, Matt Cardoni.
Little break and play here to see, Whitecaps get their composure and get their heads back and talk to each other and sort a few things out. But we started to get back in the game a little bit more there.
And so we'll see what this could mean. If you're Whitecaps FC2 and you know there's a relatively cold keeper coming in Diego Restrepo, I imagine you want to try and make him work as early as possible.
Yeah, especially with the deep free kick here. I just hang it up for Big Thomas Sander and see what the keeper's all about.
They will try to test him here. It's DeVitt to take it from quite a ways out. 40 or so yards, and he'll play that in with the right foot. Ibiaga there to deal with that, but it comes to Taron Campbell on the left side. Flicks it into midfield. Nerwinski was looking for it, but it's cleared, and he'll have to hustle back onto it. Forbes backtracking to clear that away. Comes back to Nerwinski. Nice little move to get away from some pressure. Looking for the give and go with McKendry, who tried to knock it to him with the back heel, but that didn't connect. San Antonio back in possession.
Yeah, I think Jake's been very good today. He's had a few good touches on the ball. Not quite getting the service he needs higher and wider, but he's had a few good touches.
Will Seymour for Taron Campbell, wide on that far side. Comes to Sanner, Amanda to his right. Sanner tries to play it across. Instead, he switches the field to Nerwinski on the right side. McKendry striding forward as well. Here's Nerwinski in midfield. Wide ball looking to find Terran Campbell, and instead that's snuffed out. I think that was the new inclusion at right back. Maxi Rodriguez breaking that up. Now there's Campbell again trying to hit it down. Tierpak with it, and he'll boot it high in the air and into Whitecaps territory. Soccer fans, Nike is an official sponsor of the USL. For more information, we encourage you to visit NikeSoccer.com. As the Whitecaps looking to ask some questions of the San Antonio back line here, and particularly Diego Restrepo, their second choice keeper, who has been forced into the match here this afternoon.
Yeah, I'd like to be good to test him early on before he gets his foothold in the game. But I've just watched young Glory Amanda making a few intelligent runs in behind. See if we can stretch him a little bit here with his pace and his strength.
Vega trying to break free up the left side. Nice sliding challenge by Will Seymour to deal with that. Amanda, product of the Whitecaps residency program. Played there from 2014 to 2016. Born in Tanzania, grew up in Edmonton, though.
Yeah, as I said, I watched him play against Seattle, and he really did grow into the game. Bags of confidence, and he's made 2 or 3 really intelligent runs for an 18-year-old there in only his 3rd professional game. So looking forward to see if we just get the ball in behind.
Yeah, there's a good run forward towards Amanda. Headed away by McCarthy. Tierpak tracking back. Dances away from Terran Campbell. And clears it up the park on the far side. Amanda from Edmonton, as is young Whitecap Alfonso Davies, who played quite a lot here for Whitecaps FC2 last season, and Whitecaps maybe looking to mine a glut of talent out of Edmonton.
Yeah, Alfonso's done excellent breaking in last year. He's had a chance of running games, and he's a one for the future, definitely. And hopefully young Glory Amanda can follow in his footsteps, albeit a couple years older than him, but Edmonton are producing the talent for us.
There you go. Very, very young for Alfonso Davies. Debuted here last year at 15 years of age, now 16 and with the first team. Another player for Whitecaps FC2 that has moved on to play Major League Soccer, as have the likes of Brett Levi's and even guys who are in the team today, the likes of Ben McKendry, have had their looks at MLS as well.
Yeah, these boys have had their chances. Brett Levi's broke in last year, and I thought he was doing fantastic. He got his debut, and unfortunate it happened in the last couple minutes of his debut, his injury, but he'll be back stronger. I'm doing my work with him at the minute.
Getting him prepped. Here's a chance for McKendry with his right foot right on, and Restrepo tested early. McKendry pounded it right at him, and he turned it aside. And he passes his first test, does the 29-year-old Venezuelan Diego Restrepo with a big stop. Good work by Nerwinski to get it into McKendry, who had the time to turn.
Yeah, good link-up play there from Jake. Ben finds a good pocket and gets a shot on target again.
Whitecaps looking to build off that momentum. Here's McKendry infield to Baldissimo. Nice touch to Amanda. Has got a bit of space at his back to goal, though, so plays it back to DeWitt. Now Campbell with his left foot plays it into McKendry. Tried the volley and curls that one over the bar. An optimistic attempt from McKendry that would have been glorious had it found the back of goal. Instead, it goes out for a goal kick.
Yeah, it's worth a strike from Ben there. He's got the technique to do it. He just needs to get under it a little bit. Unfortunate not to hit the target, but good play from the Whitecaps here, building into the second half, and the stoppage of play seemed to help them.
As they'll look to continue to grow in confidence. And Gloria Amanda hasn't been a huge factor as of yet, but they seem to have built some momentum, particularly since his inclusion, and whether he becomes involved here in a moment, we'll have to wait and see. But McKendry with a couple of great chances there. The first one stopped by Restrepo, the second one on the volley over the bar.
Yeah, I think Ben's got 3 or 4 shots in today, but another midfield player, Will Seymour, is going about his business, picking up second balls and doing really well here.
Of course, McKendry hit the woodwork prior to the Bustos goal right at the end of the first half. As Seiler looks to send the Whitecaps back to the attack.
Whitecaps with more of the possession at the minute now.
Good ball by Seiler towards Amanda. Dealt with by McCarthy, the big center back. Whitecaps aren't done that yet there, though. Rather, here's Nerwinski on the right side, being watched closely by the left back Cochran. Now Nerwinski tried to play it back to Seiler. Vega tracking back, broke it up. And here's Billy Forbes, a goal and an assist to his name this afternoon, and he wins the throw-in on the near touchline.
Yeah, Nowinski does well there. He shows he's not scared to take on the fullbacks. He comes back, and unfortunately doesn't have the support he needed there, but Jake needs to keep doing that.
Nerwinski 7th overall in the Super Draft this year, already 2 MLS starts to his name, and he was man of the match at Salt Lake for Vancouver Whitecaps.
Yeah, Jake played well in an unfortunate result for us. The manager told him he was unfortunate again not to play last week, but he takes it on the chin. He works really hard in training, and his chances will come.
And he's had a good outing this afternoon for Whitecaps FC2 as well. And we could see a couple more changes here for the Whitecaps. Looks like Thomas Gardner set to come in along with Andy Toma. So player in midfield, player on the defensive side. And we'll wait and see who makes way.
That'll be interesting.
I would imagine with a guy like Gardner coming in, maybe that's Will Seymour's time to step away. But
yeah, it'll be just interesting to see what Rich Fagan does here. San Antonio seemed content with not doing too much attacking at the minute, and Vancouver's sweeping everything up.
As we expect that Baldissimo and Seymour are going to come out, Gardner and Toma are going to come in, and it looks like Whitecaps FC2 are going to make those changes now. And 2 weeks ago, Andy Toma scored in that win over Seattle out in Langley. A nice driving header off a good ball that was played in by Amanda, actually, from out in the wide areas. And it'll be interesting to see what position these players take up. Gardner for Seymour, I would expect to be a pretty well straight swap. And whether Toma will play in midfield with Baldissimo coming out or not, we'll wait and see. But
yeah, it looks like maybe Ben McKendry sitting in the holding role that Will Seymour was taking up. Andy Toma maybe playing in a more advanced role.
Toma, a 23-year-old from New Mexico. Gardner, a 19-year-old from North Vancouver.
In fact, Andy Toma's gone into switch with Sam DeVitt, and he's now playing in that holding role.
Where we've seen him earlier in the season. And Thomas Gardner will play in midfield a bit higher up, taking the spot of Baldissimo. And it'll be interesting. DeVitt can get forward and more into the attack from that spot, and he's had some success doing that this season.
For sure. I saw him in the Seattle game. He really stepped on the play, and he helped create the first goal.
Bit of a general with the ball in midfield. See if he can help the Whitecaps turn the tide and control the pace of play a bit. So he'll play it out wide to Toma, who can't handle that. And it'll be a throw-in on the far touchline. 67th minute now. 2-1 San Antonio FC. Lead Vancouver Whitecaps FC2. Brendan Batchelor, Whitecaps and Canadian international defender David Edgar alongside for the call this afternoon, making his on-mic debut.
Yeah.
Acquitting himself quite well, if I do say so myself.
Thank you. Thank you.
And fans, you can stay up to date on the latest USL news and information from around the league. Tune in to USL Coast to Coast with Mike Watts, Mondays at 6 p.m. Pacific on Sirius XM FC Channel 85. Also, don't forget, Sirius XM-FC will air the USL Game of the Week. Check uslsoccer.com for dates and times. Here's Forbes down the left side. Nerwinski did a good job intercepting that pass, or he might have been away for his second goal of the afternoon.
Yes, as I said before, San Antonio seemed content, but they do have the players to counterattack quickly and hurt you. So the back three, back five of the Whitecaps have to stay switched on.
Here's Vega wide on the right side, looking to run it infield, had Tierpak with him. Whitecaps deal with that, though, and it's played ahead. Here's Amanda trying to use that speed down the right side, pressuring the left back, Cochran, and wins a throw-in for Vancouver.
Yeah, good ball in behind for Ben McKendry and for Gloria Amanda there. You can see his pace.
McKendry back for Seiler, across for DeVries. Whitecaps unable to keep the clean sheet this afternoon, in spite of their good defensive performances of late. Now here's Toma down the left side. Has Sanner tried to play it in towards him. Sanner stepped back and Ibiaga clears. Good from Toma down the far side of the park, though, and very nearly creating something that could have been dangerous.
Yeah, good bit of play there from Annie Toma. Just needs to get his head up at the right moment there, because Thomas Sanner did check his run back.
DeVitt and McKendry in midfield lose the ball. Devin Vega with it. There's a long ball towards Forbes. Knocks it down nicely for Hassan, who's got a goal. Forbes has one as well. They're both trying to get forward. And good hustle back from Nerwinski to beat Forbes to the ball and try to send the Whitecaps back on the attack. Jake Nerwinski's been all over the park this afternoon.
Yeah, I think he's been excellent. He's got that change of pace and that strength, that low center of gravity.
Now here's Sanner looking to pressure the keeper Restrepo into a mistake there. Wasn't able to do that. Ball looked like it may have rolled out of play on the near touchline, but play on, says the assistant referee. Now here's Vega. Wide for Tierpak on the right side, edge of the area, plays it back in towards Vega. DeVitt trying to deal with it. Now here's Vega, fakes with his left foot, hits with his right, and misses the target. Dangerous again from Devin Vega, the 18-year-old youngster in his pro debut, but looking like a seasoned veteran there.
Yeah, I think he's done very well here. Gets a little bounce and it sends DeVries flying. You can't be diving in as a defender there, but the young boy does well.
Did everything right except hit the target. And with just over 20 minutes left in this one, the pressure starts to ratchet up for Whitecaps FC2 to try and find that equalizing goal.
Yeah, you can see after 70 minutes the game's getting a bit stretched. There's holes now. It's attack, and just again need to stay switched on in the back for the Whitecaps, because at 2-1 you're in the game, at 3-1 you're almost out of it. So stay switched on and the chances will come.
Nerwinski will win the throw-in. Under pressure from Vega. Now it's flicked on towards Thomas Sanner, pressuring Ibiaga, who's going to try and shepherd that out of play, and is able to do just that.
Yeah, battle of the big men there. You can see how strong Ibiaga was, just shielding Thomas Sanner out there.
Sanner thought that maybe the Whitecaps deserved a corner kick there, appealing to the assistant referee. Those appeals not listened to, though. Goal kick for Restrepo. Stephen McCarthy towards the halfway line. Played the ball forward, and a sliding challenge there by Reed, but he can't come up with the ball. Referee will play advantage as the Whitecaps look to hit on the counterattack. Gloria Amanda on the right side. Striding in, will play the ball into the area over the head of Sanner. Nearly fell to Campbell. Headed away by Rodriguez and out of play, and the Whitecaps look to turn up the pressure here with a quickly taken throw in.
Lovely delivery there from Gloria Amanda. Jake Nerwinski on the overlap, but he decided to take the cross on himself, and it was a good delivery.
Nerwinski with the ball again. Amanda running forward to his right. Nerwinski will cut infield and pass to DeVitt. DeVitt trying to force it through to Sanner. Broken up. DeVitt comes in with a clattering header and is called for a foul, as one of the San Antonio players goes down in a heap. I think that's Pekka. And interesting decision there. Looked to me like DeVitt was in to get the ball, and Pekka's going to need treatment here.
Yeah, to me it seems it's a pretty straightforward, fair header, but I haven't seen the replay.
Maybe we'll get a look at it here, and indeed we will. As Pekka's striding back, looking to head the ball, DeVitt came in and headed it away, but knocked him down in a heap as well.
Yeah, I think it just looks a lot worse because Pekka's moving backwards and Sam's coming forward.
And so, bit of a delay here while Pekka is attended to. I don't think DeVitt is going to be put in the book here. I didn't see a card come out. I don't know if you did.
No, I don't think so. It's a free kick. The referee deemed it's a free kick.
As we get another
Nothing
look
more.
at it here. Maybe the elbow up into the back of the head a little bit there.
Maybe a little bit, yeah. But I think it's just the way the traveling, both the way they were traveling.
As DeVitt coming forward, Pekka coming back. Was a clattering collision, that's for sure. As the Brazilian will get up and make his way off the park here. Now in the 74th minute, Thunderbird Stadium, Whitecaps FC 2, San Antonio FC, and the visitors with the 2-1 lead. Restrepo will take the free kick and we'll play it ahead into the Whitecaps attacking half, or defending half rather, the attacking half for San Antonio. Pekka's back on the park now. And Tierpak with a nice run down the right side, looking to get around Toma, who does a good job seeing the ball out of play for the goal kick yet again.
Good defending there from Andy Toma.
Making it difficult for Tierpak to do what he wanted. As Amanda does a good job chesting that down for Ben McKendry. Had Forbes right on it. McKendry for Campbell out wide on that left side. Overlapping run by Toma, who will get the ball. Being watched closely by Rodriguez and pounds it off him for a throw-in.
Again, the space is out wide. Vancouver can get it wide and get some crosses in. We know how good Thomas Sander can be attacking the ball headers.
Ball sent in. It'll be a goal kick. Whitecaps had men forward but couldn't generate anything of note there. Should mention a week from today is the Whitecaps FC2 next home match as they'll welcome Sacramento Republic FC here to UBC Thunderbird Stadium. 3 p.m. afternoon kickoff. Encourage you to join us here at Thunderbird Stadium. Tickets available at whitecapsfc2.com. If you can't make it, then you can join us on the broadcast right here again exactly a week from today. Francis DeVries ahead for Ben McKendry. McKendry will drop it back for Sim DeVitt. DeVitt for Sander. Heavily footed ball. Nerwinski just kept it in play but couldn't keep it in possession for the Whitecaps, and Vega has some space in midfield. Drops it back for Michael Reed. Playing a bit of a deeper role than we would have expected in midfield, the Albuquerque native. And now an errant pass comes to Amanda, and he's got some space to work with here. Tried to play it out for McKendry. It was behind him. And maybe Amanda could have had a go from there, although he was closed down pretty quickly.
Yeah, I think he made the right choice. It was just the execution of the pass.
As it was behind McKendry, he wasn't able to get to it. And the Whitecaps with under a quarter of an hour here to try and find an equalizer to send the fans home happy here from Thunderbird Stadium.
Yeah, good crowd out here today as well. Rain stayed away for most part of the game.
Which is nice. It looked quite ominous early in the afternoon, and hard to tell from our vantage point. Maybe starting to come down again a little bit, but
yeah, my guess is probably will at some point.
It is Vancouver after all.
Oh, yeah.
Rain City, as they call it, and Forbes with a foul on Nerwinski, and the Whitecaps with a free kick deep in their own half.
Billy Forbes might know all about Vancouver weather. As some people may not know, he's trained with Vancouver in 2009, just before he went to college.
And he's enjoyed his return this afternoon with a goal and an assist. Now here's Nerwinski playing it into the area. Ibiaga saw that one away. Bit of a mishandled ball there by Tierpak. Amanda couldn't control it at his feet, but then tussles with Forbes on the near touchline and wins the ball back for Seiler. Now Amanda. Nicely played ahead towards Sander. Ibiaga right on it. Lays off for Nerwinski. Infield for Amanda. Back to the halfway line for Seiler. This is better for the Whitecaps. Amanda. Now for DeVries.
I think Gloria Amanda's had some real good touches in this passage of play here. He shows real maturity on the ball.
He's got some space on the near side if they can play the ball across to him. Instead, out on the far touchline for a throw-in, and indeed the rain is falling now.
What did we say?
Only a matter of time. As we tick on now into the 79th minute of the match. Goals for San Antonio from Ali Alberto Hassan and Billy Forbes. Marco Bustos with the only goal for Whitecaps FC2 in the home side. Behind by a goal.
I feel there's still a goal in this game, and there's chances left in this game. We can get the ball forward quickly now and get some crosses in the box.
The question is which way the goal goes, because if you want to equalize, you open yourself up to the counter, and we've already seen San Antonio capitalize on that.
Exactly, both times on the counter attack, and got to stay switched on.
Sander sees off a couple of defenders there to play it back. Now here's Nerwinski, edge of the area, right side, striding towards the byline, curls it in, no one on the end of it. Great work by Nerwinski, though.
Yeah, fantastic from Jake. I thought his touch took it a bit too far, but he slid there and kept it in. Unfortunately, no one at the back post.
It was all the way out for a throw-in on the far touchline. And Nerwinski, we mentioned his experience at the MLS level. He's also played in the CONCACAF Champions League at the quarterfinal stage, starting both matches against New York Red Bulls for Vancouver Whitecaps FC. Nerwinski near a touchline, trying to play it off Forbes and out for a throw-in, but Forbes got the better of that and cleared it away. Pekka in midfield. Nice ball forward towards Vega on the left side. Forbes with the run, looking to get around Seiler. Good battle as they run towards the corner flag, and Seiler knocks it out for a corner kick for San Antonio. And neither side have had too many corner kicks in this match. Can't remember very many.
No, it hasn't been. It hasn't been. But Cole Seiler's done well there against Billy Forbes, who might be getting a bit tired now. He's had to chase Jake Nerwinski up and down that wing. Been really impressed with Vega. He's done very well as an 18-year-old, showing a lot of maturity. And again, you could see how well respected he is at San Antonio, taking all the set pieces.
Here he is again. Forbes standing close. Could be shortly taken, or could be delivered into the area. Indeed, it is to the back post and headed on. Again, it's the center back, Stephen McCarthy, who had a glorious chance to score earlier. That time, pounds it right towards Melvin.
Yeah, good delivery there. Again, got to stay switched on from set pieces and the counter attack from San Antonio.
Nerwinski at the halfway line, back for DeVitt, looking to get forward. Dispossessed by Forbes. Vega right there as well. We'll try and send him up the left side. Sliding in to deal with that is Seiler, but it comes back to Vega. Pounded it off the referee in the middle of the park and out of play. And that draws the ire of some of the San Antonio players and the head coach, Darren Powell, as well.
I think he's thinking it's their throw-in because it went off the referee.
Not so. And McKendry on the near side. Pressured by Pekka. Wins a free kick with a foul that, again, Powell is not pleased with, and we could see a substitution coming up for San Antonio here too.
I think it's time we start to see the Whitecaps get these free kicks right on top of the goalkeeper, see what he's about with the size that the Whitecaps have.
It's going to be Akwafe Ajakwa coming in for San Antonio. 24-year-old attacking player from Gardena, California. Ball sent into the area by DeVitt, but headed away. There's another curling ball in towards center. Can't contain that. Ends up tripping Pekka in his attempt to generate something there. And now the substitution will be made. Coming out of the match is the man who opened the scoring this afternoon, Ali Alberto Hassan, and it's Akwafe Ajakwa coming in to try and see off the 3 points for San Antonio FC.
Yeah, good delivery in there from DeVitt. Nobody on the end of it for the Whitecaps, but San Antonio's back four have been defending the set pieces very well today.
Ali Alberto Hassan, his first goal of the year back in the first half. Wasn't overly involved in the match up front, but when you score a goal, that's involved enough.
I think that's all that matters as a striker, isn't it? You could have one touch as long as it's a goal.
So it's a Ajakwa in, and he and Forbes are going to look to work together up front. And Vega knocks that out of play. And a long header by McKendry forward towards center. Heads it down into midfield. DeVitt looking to get there. Instead, it's Reed first for Vega. Now ahead for Ajakwa. Lost it to Nerwinski. Up the right side for Amanda. Knocks it past the left back. McCarthy, or rather that's Cochran trying to get around him. Instead, he fouls it.
Yeah, good defending from Cochran there. Gloria Amanda with the pace, tried to push it past him, but he just got his body in front and draws the foul.
Free kick to be taken by Diego Restrepo, the keeper. Long ball. Played forward. Forbes working on the near side. Back to Pekka. Now Maxi Rodriguez being hounded by Campbell, and it rolls out of play.
Billy Forbes, the captain of the Turks and Caicos national team. I know I've got a few of the Canadian national team members listening tonight, and why can't we have a qualifying game there, they're saying.
There you go. Nice place to visit, I'm sure.
Oh, I'd like to think so, yeah.
26 years old, Forbes. And if you're picking a man of the match at this point, I can't really think to find someone better suited, as again, it's center forward. And this is going to be a corner kick for the Whitecaps.
Great delivery.
Good work to generate that.
Great delivery from Campbell there. Sanders making himself a nuisance in the box. We know how good he can be in the air. See if we can get the delivery in from the corner now.
Ben McKendry to take it. Curls that into the area and just missed there. I think it was Seiler rising to try and get a touch on that. Nerwinski at the back post too, but it rolls through for a goal kick.
Great delivery from Ben there. Jake just couldn't get in the end of it.
And that could have been the moment there. Whitecaps will hope they've got another one in them, but with under 4 minutes to play, time is working against them now. DeVitt heads it forward. Amanda just held that in play. No, he didn't. Throw in to San Antonio. And a homestand here for Vancouver continuing next week. As mentioned, Sacramento will provide the opposition next Saturday afternoon, 3 p.m. here at T-Bird Stadium. Whitecaps looking to scratch a point out of this one. San Antonio looking for all three to maintain their position atop the USL Western Conference.
Yeah, in a good way. San Antonio's got 3 away games now in 6 days, and it's a good start to if they start with 3 points on the road trip.
As they've got a busy week ahead of them. Saturday match here against Vancouver, then they're in Seattle to face Sounders FC2 on Tuesday, and then in Portland to take on Timbers 2 on Friday. So 3 matches in 6 days. Very busy part of the schedule for San Antonio.
Very busy, but again, to start with 3 points is massive for them. Let's hope there's a few chances left in the game for us to stop that from happening.
As Toma gets forward on the left side, watched closely by Tierpak. Sands back for Thomas Gardner, curled it in towards the box, headed away by McCarthy. Here's Nerwinski with some space to work with. They'll send it towards Amanda, just a bit behind him, couldn't get a touch on it with his head. Now Nerwinski hustling back for Seiler. Infield for DeWitt, out wide for Nerwinski again. Amanda going towards the box, he's gonna get the ball. Here's Glory Amanda with his back to goal. Cutting out to the right side. Nerwinski hustling up to join in. Amanda still with it. Now he'll curl it in, took a touch towards the keeper. Restrepo is bowled over by Thomas Sanner. Whitecaps put it into the goal, but the whistle sounded. And Restrepo down on the floor after Sanner ran into him there looking for the ball, elbow into the side too, and it'll take him some time to get up.
Yeah, I think Big Thomas Sanner knew exactly what he's doing there. It's always going to be a free kick, but again, making himself a nuisance, trying to get the ball in there. Gloria Amanda with the cross, and again, Jake Nerwinski with some great work on the right-hand side. I feel like he's been everywhere in the second half.
And Restrepo still down here as we're about to enter the final minute of normal time in the second half. And remember, the first choice keeper, Matt Cardoni, already had to leave because of an injury, and now Restrepo's down.
Yeah,
if he's in any serious pain, then they might have to go the final few minutes of added time here without a keeper, but it looks like he's going to be all right.
I think it's a bit of gamesmanship, a bit of time wasting. I think he knows exactly what he's doing here.
Does appear to be all right, although I'm sure that wasn't comfortable from Sanner.
No, the big man can leave a bruise on you.
And so Restrepo will take the free kick. He's taking his time here, though. And I think we're going to have quite a bit of added time here, though. 6 minutes, if I'm not mistaken. So definitely still an opportunity for the Whitecaps to equalize as Nerwinski with a foul on a Jakwa there, and it is indeed 6 minutes. Lots of time to work with for Whitecaps FC2.
Yeah, lots of time. Not too sure where the 6 minutes has come from, but we'll take it.
Couple of injuries, couple of one goal in the second half anyway.
Yeah.
That could play a factor, as we did see Cardoni leave. Restrepo was just down for a little bit. Number of substitutions both ways, but right, it does feel a bit much for me too, but I'm sure the Whitecaps won't complain. DeWitt with a long ball forward. I think it was intended for Campbell, but was well out of his reach. Gardner trying to create in midfield. Now Pekka fouled by DeWitt inside the center circle.
Bit of a silly free kick to give away from Sem there. It's going nowhere. We need the ball back.
He's going to be booked for it as well. Second booking of the match. DeWitt shown the yellow card. And the one thing we can say about Whitecaps FC2, particularly last season, is we saw some dramatic ends to games, whether it be late winners, late equalizers, going in favor of the visitors, in favor of the home side, so we might not be done just yet.
No, in fact, I was involved in one of those. My one game for the USL, getting some fitness. When I first signed, played here, and Big Thomas Sanner came on for his first professional goal, and it was nice to get the win.
And with a couple minutes left, probably a little bit too much to ask for Vancouver to get 3 points. They'd be more than content with 1 here, but they need a goal in order to do that, as a Jaqua's shot is blocked away by Seiler from the top of the area.
Yeah, I think you'd be happy to take a point from this game. I think San Antonio are a very good team, and they're coming into it again with form, top of the league, and a point would be a fair result.
Long ball and a hard one towards center. Headed that forward. No one there, though, as Gardner sprints ahead to try and pressure Rodriguez. But that'll be a goal kick. Still a bit of time here, though. 4 minutes or so. Just under. Give or take a few seconds. But San Antonio looking comfortable at the moment. Whitecaps will need to pressure them into a mistake or two in order to earn that point that they so desire.
Yeah, we need the ball back here.
Gardner concedes possession to Vega in midfield. He'll play that up the right side of the park, forcing DeVries to hustle back to it. DeVries for Melvin. Ahead for Toma. Now DeVitt heads it down. Gardner for Terran Campbell. And Campbell wins the throw in. Pressured by Michael Reed. No, he loses the throw in. In fact, they're saying it's San Antonio's.
I think he's just kicked it off his foot there, off Campbell's foot. Another chance for San Antonio to kill the clock.
Long throw. As the Whitecaps this time will get the throw in off the sequence there. And you know they're going to be desperate to get forward. Long ball by Toma. Slipping and sliding there was Sanner. As you can tell with the rain falling, the surface has become a little bit more treacherous to deal with. DeVitt for Campbell. Left-footed ball into the area. Amanda running towards it, collides with McCarthy. Couldn't get a touch on it. McCarthy's gone down. Amanda drawing the ire of the keeper, Restrepo, who gave him an earful.
That's a great cross there from Terran Campbell, and Gloria Amanda showing he's brave enough to go into the header. Just a bit of a body-to-body in the middle of the air, but falls awkwardly.
Hefty collision, and you know what? I think McCarthy hit his head when he went down, too. And you know, now that we're in added time, he'll get the full treatment from the athletic therapist for San Antonio FC.
Yeah, he's going to take the chance to kill it off now.
Good news for the Whitecaps is that there may be some time added on above the 6 minutes because of this.
Yeah. I think the Whitecaps have defended well as a three. The back three were solid. It was just the counter-attack that caught us, and a bit of a lack of communication. And other than that, I think they've done quite well defensively in keeping this attacking front four of San Antonio at bay.
So unless there's some more time allowed by referee Juan Marquez, we've got about a minute left, as it was 6 minutes indicated here. And Marquez having a lot to do here to settle things down in midfield. And now Marquez will finally put it into play. Headed down by DeVries towards Gardner. Ball ahead for Sanner. Can't keep possession. Gardner forward, slipping and sliding, knocked down. Well, the Whitecaps have the ball again, and they're going to quickly take a free kick here.
I think we should set it up there, get everyone in the box now.
And you can tell that the surface, as I said, more slippery because Gardner went down there, Sanner a moment ago. And what you hope for Whitecaps FC2 off a set piece like this is maybe that can play in your favor in the box.
Yeah, for sure. It's about getting into the box now, get all the bodies in as many. This could be our last opportunity.
Could very well be the last kick of the match off a chance here. So DeVitt's going to take it from quite a ways back. And everyone else and the kitchen sink forward to try and create something.
Thomas Sanner trying to come around the back.
He's going to be watched
marked
closely by McCarthy, who's been a big factor in this match. And McCarthy being told to come off the near touchline. It is going to be DeVitt. Curls it in with his right foot. Center getting forward towards it. Somebody got a touch on it. It hits the top of goal. Restrepo just got a piece of it, but it's going to be a corner kick. Not done yet. That was awfully close for Whitecaps FC2. And do they have a bit of late magic in them? Ben McKendry from the corner kick sends it in, headed away by McCarthy, and that's the final whistle. A good late push from Whitecaps FC2 will fall just short, maybe by an inch or two, as Restrepo touched that one over the bar. On the free kick in by DeVitt, and the final score this afternoon, San Antonio FC defeat Vancouver Whitecaps FC2 2-1.
Yeah, San Antonio continues their good run of form, starts their away trip with 3 points. I thought the Whitecaps were very good the second half. Had a few chances, were a lot better, and just that sucker punch at the beginning of the second half seemed to hurt them, and we couldn't quite claw our way back into it.
Too much for them to overcome the Forbes goal in the first minute of the second half, and it finishes 2-1 here at Thunderbird Stadium. We'll step aside for a moment, come back with the final match highlights in just a second.
Sign up for our skills camp today.
Learn the Whitecaps way.
Whitecaps FC camps are the only soccer camps that you can train with our coaching staff.
Can you hear me?
Get kitted up.
And take your shot at getting scouted. Come on out to our next camp.
Meet a player.
Hope to see you there.
It's not always about wins, losses, draws, added time, missed tackles, clearances, possession, rivalries, goals, and assists. Sometimes it's about the people and the stories that shape them. Introducing the official Whitecaps FC podcast, Sideline Stories. In-depth interviews with your favorite Whitecaps players and personalities, hosted by me, Perry Solkowski. Show your ears some love.
We've raised the stakes. Expectations are high. Our biggest season yet will break records with elite players and future stars. Innovative technology and new homes. We're growing the game in our communities and across the nation. Are you ready?
The full-time score here from Thunderbird Stadium, San Antonio FC with a 2-1 win over Vancouver Whitecaps FC2. Let's take a look at the final match stats from this one here this afternoon. And we'll go to the highlights first, in fact. Excuse me. It was tied at 1 after the first half, and Billy Forbes early on as Nerwinski and Melvin had to deal with him there. Forbes would cash in with a headed ball that just got in behind Cole Seiler. Knocks that one up and over the keeper, Melvin. And Seiler would probably like another opportunity at that one. A little bit of a difficult touch for him inside his own area. Forbes capitalized right away. It was 2-1 at that point for San Antonio. Whitecaps had a couple of chances. Ben McKendry with a good look there in the area, pounded it right at the keeper. Then tried with a volley, too, that went over the bar. Restrepo had to come in favor of Cardoni, who was injured. Vega had a great look. And he sent over the net from inside the area for San Antonio as well. They really controlled the play quite a bit in the second half. Forbes and Nerwinski got into it on a chance there. Forbes, you could tell, wanted the foul for a tug of the shirt. Chance on a corner kick for the Whitecaps. Fell to Nerwinski, but couldn't bury that. Then a late opportunity right at the net. DeWitt sending it in just over the bar. Whitecaps would have a corner kick off of that, but they couldn't capitalize, and they fall 2-1 this afternoon at Thunderbird Stadium. So take a look at the final match stats, and overall, David Edgar, your final thoughts on this one this afternoon?
Yeah, final thoughts. I think it was probably the right result in terms of possession and stats. Whitecaps just fell short in the second half. Difficult start. You don't want to start your second half conceding a goal straight away because you're under the cosh after that, but thoroughly enjoyed it, and I thought both teams can take positives from it.
San Antonio remains atop the Western Conference with the 2-1 victory. The young Whitecaps will look to regroup and welcome Sacramento Republic FC a week from this afternoon. Thanks so much for joining us for this one this afternoon. For David Edgar, I'm Brendan Batchelor. Once again, the final score, San Antonio FC 2, Vancouver Whitecaps FC 2-1.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League may not be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the express written consent from the United Soccer League.